A real surprise today, someone did a lot of work here, probably youngsters, building a KuMEYAAY village that was really quite accurate in all of its details. And in addition, everything used and shown in this little bit of artwork illustrates the dependence that local Indians had on these famous San Diego County oak trees that we see in the background. Well, the Indians gathered those oaks here. We're looking down on a little micro-Indian village. We see tripods set up for cooking fires. We see a large cooking pot there with the food boiling in the pot. Over here, the serving table looks like a little salad there. And the first bowl, a large pumpkin, really an acorn. And here's the acorn mush, pinole. Over here, a little shade canopy with a black oak leaf. Another serving table. Looks like food there in the large bowl from a gold cup oak cap. In the background, another little cooking area and a little shade tree all in the foreground. But very typical of what Indian cultures used these large oak groves or encinals back in times a couple centuries ago. A large occupation area surrounded by log barrier fencing, food serving area, large bowls filled full of a variety of foods. Looks like a salad, tubers or roots. Over there, a dark food. Serving table, more foods. Flooring made of oak. Looks like a little salad going there. A little shade canopy. And a little trail leading over to the next area that appears to be a dwelling, like a kiva with wood floor. And many large benches to sit upon. Well, wandering a little further down this Indian village hillside, we come to a sleeping area with more cooking pots, storage, and a log roof. Looks like a kiva or underground dwelling that was typical of most southwestern Indians, including right here in San Diego County, a dwelling half underground and half above ground. Over here at the far side, may have been a cemetery area that's the earth is mounded up and logs placed around it to protect the location. Local Indians in this region processed the dead by cremation. Someone donated a large cooking pot like we see there. They usually put the individual in their hut, set fire to the hut. After the fire cooled, sifted the ashes for bone fragments, then put them in the cooking pot, then buried that pot over in the cemetery area that was adjacent to their campsite. Finally, in the background, I think they've relegated this little campsite on the fringe of the main camp, probably to the women or to the young women approaching puberty. They're put in isolation for a short time before going through puberty ceremonies in most KuMEYAAY villages many centuries ago. A very extensive KuMEYAAY village. This village must have supported many dozens of people, young and old, relatives, cousins, aunts, and uncles. Big serving table here, lots of storage pots. Storage pots were made of clay. Local soil was the clay. Pots were formed usually in their lap or on the ground using a coining method and using a little stick or stone to smooth the pots and blend the coils together. A large variety of pot forms, cooking bowls, large storage pots, narrow neck vessels for carrying water were typical of KuMEYAAY villages. Adjacent to that camping area, we see another underground shelter. This one mostly underground with poles forming a roof and then covered with soil. Roofs were also formed with sticks and thatch from local plants found in the area, especially willow. Finally, over here on the outskirts of the village, a little storage area. Also a pit dug in the ground covered with poles. We see large storage pots in there, pottery vessels filled with acorns and pine nuts when available. As we know, the Indians up in our backcountry were very dependent on oaks.